All right, Algebra 2, it's time for the quiz review. I'm going to work these in multiple videos, and I'm not going to work every problem, but I'm going to work a couple from each section. So let's go ahead and start on what you need to know. I'm going to use black ink on this one, and I'm going to do number 1. When solving radical equations, my recommendation is to get it into exponent form first. It's the most clear way for our brains to think about this. So on my first step here, I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to say x minus 2, 1 second. I'm going to change the thickness of my marker. I'm going to start with x minus 2 in parentheses. X minus 2 in parentheses raised to this little number in here represents the denominator, and this number here represents the numerator, equals 8. I didn't solve anything. I just rewrote it. Now I'm going to switch my marker pen to purple, and we're going to go over what we have to do to get rid of this. Now remember the rules of exponents. I have to raise this exponent to another exponent, and it's going to be the reciprocal. The reciprocal means flip it over. So it flips over. But the rule is, if I do it on one side, I must do it on the other side. So I'm going to raise this up to the power of 2/3. This is, believe it or not, a number you can actually solve in your head. It doesn't look like it right now, but you can use Desmos to solve this number, 8 to the 2/3 for the record. You still have to show your steps. So with that case, this all cancels out with each other right here, and then that frees up your x minus 2. So when I have my x minus 2 right here, and then this is going to be 8 to the 2/3. I'm going to show you over here on the side how I rewrite that. The denominator goes here, right? The 8 goes here, and the 2 goes here. There's the 8. That's my body right there. The 3 right there in the denominator, and then my square goes right here. So check it out. The cube root of 8 squared. 8 squared is 64. Cube root of 64 is 4, because 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So we end up with 4 right here. Again, you can use Desmos, but that's a way to solve it without Desmos. And now I'm going to add 2 on both sides. I'm going to add 2 on both sides. And I have x equals 6, which is fantastic. Now, another way you can do this one too, if I had the cube root, sorry, I'm going to go back real quick to evaluate the number. I can do this way as well too. And it's kind of cool as well, because this one says, hey, do the cube root first. So the cube root first of 8 would be 2, and then square it would be 4. So you see, it doesn't matter which way I get to it. It'll get to the same answer, just whatever looks easier for you. So that's example number 1 on there. I am going to give you a tip on number 4. On number 4, you have to divide the 22 first. When it says, and read it in English, 22 times, 22 times, 22 times. This is 22 times all this stuff. So you're going to divide it. Make sure you read that first. So you're going to divide that 22 first on both sides. I'll get it started, but I'm not going to finish it. So then that will cancel out, etc. So make sure you understand this part. This one right here, this says minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, minus 2. That means add 2 on both sides. Don't forget that. And then this one. Some of you remember that you can just get rid of this by squaring both sides. But for those who don't, this one can be rewritten like this. X plus 12 to the 1/2 equals this, x. So I am going to do this one because I want y'all to see how to get rid of this. So all I did on number 3 was rewrite this problem. I did 2. Okay, and then technically there's a 1 right here. So if you don't see any markings at all, there's a 2 always hidden here if there's no markings, and then there's a 1 right here. My numerator is a 1, denominator is a 2. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to bring it up to 2/1. And if I do it on one side, I must do it on the other side. So I'm going to bring this up to 2/1. Now y'all remember what 2/1 is. It's just 2. This caused a lot of confusion yesterday, which is hilarious. It's one of those fun moments as a teacher. What is x squared? Like literally, ask it out loud. What is x squared? Literally, y'all, x squared. What is x squared? X squared. So I just found that funny because y'all's brains kind of tooted out on that one, which was expected, but it was just kind of cute. So I'm going to go ahead and cross this out. You have x plus 12 right here. This is the stuff we did yesterday. Now you're going to move the x over on both sides. Notice there's no other x's to combine it with. I'm going to move the 12 over on both sides. Notice there's no numbers to combine it with. I'm going to leave this at 0 because that cancels out. This and this cancel. This and this cancel. And then I have 0 equals x squared minus x minus 12. And then you have to factor that. I'm not going to show you the factoring stuff on here, but remember it's the ABC AC. You have to factor it out, find your ABC, ACs. I already know what my factors are on this one, so for the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and save us some time. Ends up being x minus 4 and x plus 3. So you are responsible for this stage. When you get to this level, this means you got a factor. And we did all the white sheet yesterday, so you should be fine. With that said, I'm going to let this be done. I know I only solved one problem, and then I only solved like half of another problem, but I want y'all to do the actual work. I'm not going to solve every single problem in the quiz review. Test reviews, I'll solve every problem, more than likely. But this, nah, y'all can do this. So that's 1 through 5. I'm going to consider this video 1 through 5.